lovely humans. Thank you for joining me here at Starlight and Stitches. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. I hope you've remembered to subscribe. If you are new here, then welcome to Starlight and Stitches. You are now in Alice Land. I am Alice, and in Alice Land we like to talk about yarny stuff, crochet, amigurumi, crafty things. We do crochet book reviews, we do end of the month project videos, which is exactly what we're doing today. So if that's the kind of thing that you like, then please do subscribe. Join my other subscribers, because let me tell you something, my subscribers are the best. So if you are also the best, then please come and join them. I'm really happy that you are all here watching my video today, because today we're doing an end of the month finished project video. These are my favourites. This is the one video every month where I get to show you everything that I have made in the previous month. So we are looking today at everything that I have made throughout January. There's not a big amount of things that I've made throughout January, but there are a couple of big projects in there that I've completed in the last month, and I'm very excited to show you. So I'm going to do them in order of finishing them. That's generally how I tend to do it. I've sort of got my little list here. I've got a notebook and I keep a note of everything that I have ever made, and I write it down in my notebook and I put the date of when I finished it. It's actually a bit bonkers going back through, because as you guys know, I only started crocheting just over a year ago, so it was November a year ago. And looking back through everything that I have made in the past year and a little bit is a bit insane actually. My notebook's getting quite full up, and I can't quite believe how much I've actually made myself. Yes. So let's get going today, lovely friends, lovely humans, with everything that I've made this month. Now the first thing that I'm going to show you, kind of teased it a little bit. I showed you the yarn before of what I was using, and it was that beautiful Signet yarn, and I'm going to show you what I've made. It's a wearable item. Now I used some pattern following, and then some of it I made up myself. So let me show you. Let me show you what I have done, and then we shall discuss, lovely friends. And I have absolutely worn it to death ever since. I wore it on our little Harry Potter trip the other week. If anybody has seen any of my socials, I don't know where I put them up. I put them on some of my socials. It's got me pushing my cart through platform 9 3/4 in my funky cardigan. I love it so much. Now the main bulk of the pattern is the hexagon granny cardigan that is on IlJ, Crochet with IlJ's channel. Actually, she did feature this cardigan on her last video as one of her things that subscribers have made using the pattern. So the main bulk of it is from that pattern, so I copied that. Some of it I then did like just by myself. So I did, once I'd sewn everything together, if you watch the pattern you'll see, but once I'd sewn everything together I wanted a little bit of extra length on the arms, so I've done a few extra rows of granny on the arms. I made a collar for it, which obviously goes all the way round, lovely little collar. I did that with, it was just a single crochet stitch, and then I added some length to the bottom of the cardigan as well. With the cuffs, I just did a rib stitch and then I attached it to kind of bring them in a little bit, because I wanted a bulky sleeve up the top, but I also wanted something that wasn't like flapping around. So I added a cuff, and I also made it a cuff that could fold down so that I could have a full length sleeve. But I am the sort of person that I regularly roll up my sleeves, so having that on there. It just gives me the option of what I want to do. I'm so pleased with this cardigan. It did use a hell of a lot of yarn because I wanted a closer stitch granny on it. I did use a smaller hook. So you can make something like this and have it a bit looser fitting, but I wanted something that was a bit tighter. But with the colours and everything else, I am so happy with how it turned out. Yeah, like I say, I've worn it constantly since I made it, and I'm just really happy with it. I've always been a bit wary of wearables, because I don't want to look silly, but in this I'm just like, I'm going to wear this down to the school run, I'm wearing this into town, I'm wearing this when I go to the shops. It's my favourite thing that I've ever worn. So I'm very happy with my first thing that I have made. I will put a link for Iljay's crochet cardigan, the granny hexagon crochet cardigan. I'll put that in the description down below. I have made a hexagon cardigan once before last year, and that was for my daughter. Here's a picture. Ta-da! So she has also got a version of her own, but obviously they look very different because mine's a different shape, so I shaped mine slightly. So that was the first thing I made this month, and I love it so much. And it's got these little toggles. Let me tell you, these little toggles that I've put on, obviously they can just go through any of the holes, but they are from my Nana's button box. So when my Nana passed away, that was one of the things that I kept from my Nana's house. It was her button box. So these are buttons that came from Nana's button box, which is really nice. So like, yeah, I don't know, they must have come off an old coat or something, but she used to keep everything. So yeah, I've got a wonderful stash of buttons, and thank you, Nana, for the buttons that finished off my cardigan. It was, yeah, I'm really happy with it. Right, so got my list here. So what was the next thing I made? Oh, the next thing I made was, it was a bit odd, but it was a request from my dad. You might have seen the short that I posted. Oh gosh, everything's falling on the floor. So I posted a short a little while ago, and I said, what is that? So it's kind of like this weird long sausage thing. Basically, my dad called me, and he was like, thank you so much for our Christmas snowman, which you would have seen I made everyone in December. And he wanted another one of those. And he also wanted, so my stepmom for Christmas, her Christmas present was a Roomba, because that is what she really wanted. So she got her Roomba, and they've named it Dusty, so it's now their pet, and it like wanders around the house, and Dad said he's very happy, their Roomba, wandering around the house, but he said he keeps trying to get underneath the TV unit and he keeps getting stuck. So they wanted something to go in front of the telly so that Roomba just dunk, 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 so Roomba won't get stuck under the telly. That's basically what this is. I asked him what colours he wanted, and he said he didn't care. He said just use something that you've got a lot of. Now, ages ago, I had got some yarn from Aldi. I think it's up there. Oh, there, it's on the top of my unit up there. Okay, so I got that yarn from Aldi, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's pretty. And I just used that. So it's funky colours, and that's, yeah, I like it. So I did just single crochets all the way along, and then in the middle, because I got bored of doing single crochets, I did some half double crochets, and then I did some more single crochets. When I talk about single crochets, double crochets, I'm always using US terms, because even though I am UK based, that is just what I've learnt, so that is what I use. So Roomba guard, that was the second thing I made. The third thing that I made, after I finished the Roomba guard, obviously I'd finished the cardigan, then I did the Roomba guard, and then I was a little bit over complicated patterns. I just wanted to do something that I didn't have to think about, and one evening I just sat there and I made, this is so random, I made this little guy. He's a little pastel planet. My daughter has stolen him already because she thinks he's adorable, and his name is Softy. And he's just a little ball, a lovely little ball, very cute, and I put a face on him because I put faces on everything. I used this, it's Sirdar Snowflake DK Magic. This is a very old ball of yarn, my lovely friends, a very old ball of yarn. This is a yarn that I got given when my dad's friend's wife passed away, and they were clearing out some of her craft stuff, and they gave me some of her old yarn. So I was able to use this yarn at triple thickness, basically, the whole way round. And yeah, he came out really, really cute. And I like him a lot. I might do a whole series of these little pastel planet things because I think he's adorable. Something before I go on to the next couple of things. I am probably going to start making some bits and putting them on Etsy. So I'll let you know in a community post whenever anything goes live. And then you guys can have a look if you want to. That was just a quick little look what I'm doing. Right, so what is next? Next is something that's fallen on the floor. I'll just go down. Right, so again, I've done the pastel planet. And I just, again, wanted to do something simple and I didn't want to think about it. So I thought I wanted to make a monster because, you know, I love my monsters, don't I? But I wanted to make one up. So I wanted to do my own little monster. So I made this, his name is Bibbidi because obviously I name all my monsters. This is Bibbidi. So I literally just made this one up as I went along. He's got a lovely little daisy on his head because I didn't know what else to put on his head. He's got little arms. He's got proper little chunky hips going on. Not entirely sure why he's got such chunky hips, but he's very cute and I love you very much. And he sits in my living room. And again, I am very likely to make more of these, like just random monsters. Oh, by the way, when he jumps, his flower jumps. And he's really cute. So this is Bibbidi. This is a new addition to our little monsters. And he's the first one that I just made up as I went along. So I'm very happy with him. He's very cute. And yeah, it's Bibbidi. After I finished making Bibbidi, I made... This isn't actually a reveal, it's just a basic little keyring for my sister-in-law's birthday. So it's got 2 flowers, one big, one medium, and then on the back there we've got a little leaf, and we've also got a tiny star. My sister-in-law, she's not really like, some members of my family really like the kind of big bulky things that I make. Some people aren't into that, which is absolutely fine. So I just thought for her birthday I would make her something a little bit more delicate. She can hang it on something and it's a bit more her aesthetic than the kind of crazy things that we have there. So I have stuffed the middle of the flowers just ever so slightly just to give them a little bit of shaping. But yeah, it's just a little keyring. I told you last video, didn't I, that those little keyring things were going to come in handy. So we've got one more thing. And there's a little backstory here. So those of you that have been following me from way back a year ago when I first started, you would know that one of the first monsters that I ever made was my lovely Ob. This is Ob and he is adorable. Come here. He's very special to me because he is one of the first monsters that I made. And he is from the Amigurumi Monsters 2 book. And I love him, and he's got his lovely little tail, he's got his little hands, and obviously because this is the first one that I ever made, he's a bit wonky and his mouth's a bit wibbly, but he's very, very special to me. Now, in my last video, I told you that I wanted to make chunky things, and I showed you a yarn that I had bought that I was going to try out, the Elise Velluto. And I used it, and I used it to make, I don't know why I'm talking so calmly, I used it to make a giant one. This is Bob, and he is Ob's dad, or mum. It's huge, and I love him. His tooth won't stay up because it's so bulky. I might actually have to stitch that on. But I've made a massive monster and it's really squishy, and the yarn actually was really nice to use. It was so lovely to use. I didn't put claws on his hands because he was so soft. I didn't want to add the claws. He has got his tail, Nice massive tail. He's really big and he cannot live anywhere except in my living room. But it does mean now that when I'm sat on my own in the evenings once my daughter's gone to bed, I actually have a friend with me. So make your own friends, ladies and gentlemen. I love him, and he's just so squishy. The yarn I'm really pleased with. I know I was looking for some super chunky yarn, and actually that's something that I wanted to say to you guys. I want to thank you all so much for all your comments on my last video. I had a major problem for some reason. YouTube was not allowing me to view a lot of the comments that I got. I don't know why. You all know that I will try and reply to every single person. The amount of times that I would click on a comment and it would say comment not available, I don't know why. So to anyone that I did not reply to, thank you so much for putting a comment on the video. For some reason I wasn't allowed to look at it, and I don't know why, and it has happened before and I don't know the reason behind it, and I've googled it and I can't work it out. So I'm sorry if I didn't reply. Thank you all for your suggestions though. I will try some of those yarns in the future when I have some money, probably a long time away. But yes, this is the last thing that I made in January. What do you think? So yes, not as many projects this month, but some wonderful things all the same. I'm so happy. I'm so happy with everything I've made. I've already started making something today. So we're in February now. And that will probably be something that goes on to my Etsy store. I can't stop squishing him. So that's it for today. That's everything that I made in January of 2022. Not a bad start to the year, friends. What do you think? He doesn't say much. He's a silent friend. I always rub his tummy. Maybe that would bring me luck. Maybe that would get me up to 1,000 subscribers if I just keep rubbing his tummy. We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, friends, humans, lovely people, thank you so much for being here today. I know in my last video I forgot to tell you to look after yourselves and look after your loved ones, so I'm very sorry about that, but do look after yourselves and look after your loved ones. I hope you'll have a wonderful week. Talk to me in the comments. If I can read them, I'll reply. And yeah, I'm going to go and carry on making stuff for this month. Happy February, everybody. 1st of February. Days will start getting lighter soon. It's exciting. It's exciting. Anyway, I love you all so, so much. Yeah, go and have a cup of tea. Put your feet up. Have a biscuit. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to carry on making my February things. Thank you for being here. I love you all lots and lots and lots. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.